As you might have noticed over the past couple days, I was attacking Nikon rather vehemently for some stupid stuff that they've done. I've been using Nikon long before photography school. I love Nikon to death. I'm not going to stand by them when they do something incredibly stupid, but that doesn't mean I hate Nikon. Fujifilm's made a couple mistakes, and I've called them out on it, so I'm not going to play a fanboy for any camera company. I do have Fujifilm tattooed on my hand too, by the way. Actually, there's been no camera company. Used to work in, if you don't know me very well, I used to work in several camera stores, Beach Photo, NF Photo, Super Optical, that was Super Photo Express, right? Repair cameras, lenses, been taking stuff apart and fixing it my entire life. Some stuff is unfixable. The microcircuitry on these boards, by the way, can't be resoldered like the old days. You could just resolder something. Yeah, unsolder a resistor that was blown and resolder a new one. You can't do that kind of crap anymore. Everything is parts replacement now. But I've actually never been so impressed by a camera company as I have by Fujifilm. I first started off on deciding to make, because I knew so many neat things on light mods and whatnot, started out making photography videos. I mean, I resoundingly trashed mirrorless, and I still do trash, and most of it's gone away. You know, the bullshit that surrounds mirrorless, and it is BS. It's a smaller camera. It's not. The camera's smaller, but once you mount a lens and a speed light, and you should never mount a speed light on the hot shoe of your camera. It's not a smaller camera. This camera's got 3 batteries in it. It's got a vertical grip, and this is a small lens. It's a little bit smaller, but I mean, it's not, there's no such thing as a mirrorless image. It's just bullshit. If any of you haven't seen some of my really early Fujifilm videos, and I've got a lot of Fujifilm cameras now, and I'm waiting on getting my GFX shipped in. They've been short on supply. I bought into the Fujifilm system because they work like Nikon used to do back in the old days. I can't speak correctly here. Too much caffeine. The support, I mean, the firmware that just came out on the XT2. What I know, and this is going to sound egotistical, if you don't like it, that's fine, and kiss my fanny over it, is I do know more than the rest of these damn YouTube photography channels as far as how stuff is made. They'll say, oh my god, it's such a wonderful camera, it's like, this doesn't mean anything. I tear stuff apart to see how well it's actually made. I know I'm the only one that's doing that. I desperately want people to send me cameras. I wish someone would send me an XT1, like a dead one. There's one right now on eBay right now. It's for sale for like $360. I would love to have that. I would take it apart and sandblast it and then give it away in a photo gear contest. I would love to have that camera and make some videos tearing it apart. But I've seen a couple of XT1s apart. Only one of them firsthand, but that was only partially. But there's never been a camera company in any recent memory, and there certainly doesn't exist one now, better than Fujifilm. Their aftercare support, their firmware support is absolutely unmatched. I can actually say, with no hyperbole, there's not another single goddamn camera company. If you took all of them combined, let me rephrase that, Sony, Nikon, Canon, if you took all of them combined and the amount of after-camera firmware support, all of them combined don't even match up to what Fuji itself does. That's not my opinion. That's a hardcore damn fact. Fujifilm is doing everything right. Now, it may be the case that, like all companies that do a lot of stuff right, everybody opens up their eyes and then they pile in on it, and then the company decides, well, to meet demand, we're going to have to outsource this crap to China. And things kind of fall down. That could happen in the not too distant future, 5, 6, I don't even take 5 years down the line. It could happen. I'm not able to predict that, but a lot of companies that do everything right, they kind of fall victim to their own success to meet demand. And Fujifilm may not go that way, but they could. The only thing that Fujifilm doesn't have, and I've got hundreds of lenses, that they don't have over, say, a Nikon, is that they don't have the crazy ass buffer for sitting there and rocking it on an XQD card like on the Nikon D500. They don't have crazy high ISO performance for shooting just nonsense low light. So they don't have that performance, and it's undeniable. However, you can apply, post noise reduction algorithms, both in Photoshop or like denoise projects or any one of other denoise applications. And they don't have the huge glass. I mean, they have been cranking out 500 millimeter f4s and 600 and 300 millimeter 2.8s, so they don't have the buffer, the super deep buffer. They don't have the crazy high ISO performance of the Nikon, and they don't have the huge ass glass. This is undeniable and irrefutable. But I have the Nikon stuff for that. There's no perfect camera, and there's never going to be one. Actually, some of these companies could make a near-perfect camera, but that means that all their other models would lose out on sales, so they're never going to do that. Those three missing factors are fine. I mean, every camera company has a missing factor here or there. Don't have any focus peaking options, no real good ones anyway with Nikon and some other stuff like you do on Fuji. But let me just reiterate that all the stuff that I complained about as far as mirrorless being BS, it still is BS. The only reason I bought this camera, specifically I guess the XT1 before it, now the X100F and the XT2, doesn't have one, listen closely, doesn't have one goddamn thing to do with mirrorless. I only believe in superior cameras, quality of manufacture, customer support, just the entire system, intelligently, logically, well thought out. Like, damn, they did a good job. I will never buy a camera system based upon new technology. I don't and never did buy into mirrorless bullshit. And I still don't. And the only reason I own this Fuji and several other Fujis is because it's a superior quality manufacturer with support. And that's the goddamn truth. Someone said, well, that's just your opinion. Like on other things. I met some guy at a camera store once, and I said something about a lens, and he said, well, that's just your opinion. I said, you know what, buddy? You're right, but you also know what? I said, some opinions are worth more than others. You know, the schmuck that's only owned a few lenses giving you a lens recommendation, it's not worth much. It's his opinion, but it's not worth much. The guy that's tested and owned hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lenses, his opinion is probably worth something. Now, it depends on whether it's subjective or whether it's logical and existentially valid. It's like, this is a better lens because boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to make an egotistical statement, and you can hate me for it or not. I don't give a damn, because I certainly don't give a damn about whether, someone dislikes what I say or I don't say, because no one has a hand up my ass to say anything one way or the other. I'm going to say that Fujifilm currently has the best going camera system out there. The GFX, the XT2, I never actually thought with this day and age of, spit it out as fast as you can, plastic Chinese crap, that there could be a camera company like Fujifilm. The reason I tattooed Fujifilm on my hand, right next to Nikon, I've been a lifelong lover of Nikon. I still love Nikon despite all their stupid-ass mistakes. The reason why I tattooed Fujifilm on my hand, I used to use Fujifilm, literally Fujifilm, especially 4x5 chrome. Man, there's nothing more amazing than 4x5 E6 chrome. Because I had a Calumet 4x5. I love Fujifilm. Velvia, oh my god, the Fujifilm actual film that I went through is amazing. The people that actually have the most respect for me currently are Fujifilm, and not only that, they deserve it. And I know more than these other schmucks on YouTube collectively, both in optics and cameras, as far as build quality, support. Some people will go down a specification list and like, oh, this is a better camera. It's like, no, it looks good on a spec sheet, but it's an overheating piece of crap. It has no customer service. It's made obsolete 9 months later. It never gets firmware updates. The camera company is a consumer electronic. You know who I'm talking about without me mentioning the word Sony? Oh, whoops, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It's because that camera looks better on a spec sheet. And stupid people look at spec. Well, if you look at the spec sheet, this is the better camera. Yeah, if you looked at the spec sheet, that's the better camera. But it's absolutely just the opposite of the better camera. It's like looking at a hot woman and thinking that she's just all that. It's like, nah, she's a criminal and she has some incurable diseases. It's like she looks really good on the outside, but underneath she's a mess. A mess. Fujifilm is beautiful both on the outside and the inside, and they are definitely, right now, the #1 camera company, and they get all my respect. And I don't begrudgingly give respect to anybody. Fujifilm absolutely the hell deserves it. And Fujifilm doesn't give me crap. They don't give me nothing to say this. Nothing. I'm sure they probably hate me. It's like, oh, you know, we get lots of sales from this fat bald tattoo guy always talking highly of Fuji. But, you know, geez, you know, it couldn't have been somebody better looking. This guy looks like the cross between like a criminal and Uncle Fester and Andrew Zimmern from Bizarre Foods. I think that's what some people have told me. They said, you look like the love child of Andrew Zimmern and Uncle Fester. I was like, well, that's funny. You know, I'll go with that. That's pretty accurate and funny. But Fujifilm deserves everything that I've been giving it praise for. It does. Every damn bit of it. And that's actually quite shocking. It really is. In today's age, that's actually shocking. They really do stand out above everybody else. It's like, well, they don't have the huge glass. You're right. Well, they don't have the huge buffer. You're right about that. It's a lot better than it used to be. But, oh, they don't have the crazy high ISO performance where you could shoot in near total darkness like you can with like the D5. It's like, well, you're right. You're right. That is better on a Nikon D500. Nikon does have the huge-ass glass. You want to take a picture of the speckle-breasted woodpecker at 1,000 yards with your 500mm f4 at $12,000 lens. You're right. It's irrefutable. You can't deny the facts. I'm not going to stick my head in the damn sand and deny the frickin' truth. It's supposed to be a truth seeker. If you're that, and you're helpful to people. If you're not, you know, you're not helpful to anybody. You're just misleading people. You're nothing but a schmuck and a shill, or, you know, someone that might not be a shill, but just an idiot. It's like, I recommend this. It's the second camera I've ever owned. I just think it's awesome. Buy it. It's like, well, your recommendation's pretty useless. You know, there's a lot of stuff that people say honestly and truthfully, but that doesn't mean it's not stupid and said by someone that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. So that's it. That is my high praise for Fujifilm. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you later. If you like this video, just drop me a buck or two because I'm killing myself answering emails and comments for which I'm getting paid basically nothing. Said the guy that spent 6 years in college and knows 6 languages and written several books, and yeah. Like, how much are you getting paid? Oh, I'm getting paid a little less than a burger flipper. Working over 10, 12 hours a day answering emails and comments and going, oh my God, are the emails ever going to stop? That's not an exaggeration, by the way. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you later. Bye. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.